Shalom, everyone. Welcome back. In this week's Torah portion, we read about Abraham, really the first Jew. And we all come from Abraham. In fact, not only do we come from Abraham, but the Muslims come from Abraham, or they claim to. The Christians come from Abraham as well. And this is no small thing. There are something like 52 countries which are Islamic countries in the world, something like 80 Christian countries, and there's one Jewish country. It's a lot of people. Billions of people claim to come through the Abrahamic uh, line. In fact, when the accords were signed with various Arab countries and Israel recently, in the last administration, they were called the Abrahamic Accords or the Abraham Accords. And because we all come from Abraham, or we claim to come from Abraham. And there are many stories of Abraham. Abraham, of course, a story about how Abraham was thrown into a fiery furnace. That's why it says in the Torah he comes from Ur Kasdim. Ur Kasdim could be the light of the Chaldeans, but it could also mean the fire. From Ur means light or fire also. The fire of the Chaldeans. He was thrown into a fiery furnace and he came out miraculously not burnt. Or the story of how Abraham smashed all the idols in his father's shop. And when his father asked him who did that, he gave the camera to the biggest idol and said he did it. And his father, of course, said that the idols can't do anything. And from this, he showed him that indeed they can't do anything. But these stories, everybody knows these stories. And these stories, we learn about them as little kids in Cheder, in Hebrew school. We all know these stories, but these stories are not found in the Torah. They are not found. In fact, we don't know anything in the Torah about Abraham until he was about 75 years old. And before that, all the things we know about him come from the Midrash. They come from the oral tradition in Judaism, but not from the Bible. We really begin with in the age of 75 years old. So the question comes up: why did God pick Abraham altogether? Why did he choose him among all the other nations? What did he do that was so special and so unique? Um, and the fact is that we say that basically God had a relationship with Abraham. God loved Abraham. And it really didn't have anything to do with what he did or what he didn't do. In Pirkei Avos, in Ethics of the Fathers, it says, Ava Taluya B'davar, that love which depends on something is not true love. Love that does not depend on anything, which we call today unconditional love, is really true love. What does this mean? It means that if we do something that God likes, He likes it. He likes us, but He doesn't love us because of it. He loves us because of who we are. Just like a child is loved by their parent, no matter what the child does. The parent may not like what the child does. The parent may not even like the child, but he loves the child. And love is not something which is dependent on anything. And when that thing is removed, the love remains always. And that's what Abraham was, and that's what Abraham was. And perhaps that's why Abraham is called Avinu. Abraham is called our father, because a father loves his children no matter what. And God loves us no matter what. Certainly, the Jewish people have not been on our best behavior throughout the years. Most of the time, we have done pretty good, but a lot of times we haven't. But God loves us nevertheless. And God loves humanity nevertheless. No matter what humanity does, God has created us and loves us no matter what we do. And really, this idea of unconditional love is something that we learn from our father Abraham. And that's why the other religions of the world cherish the legacy of Abraham so much, because Abraham represents God's love for his people and for humanity. And really that is really the essential message of Abraham, is showing God's love and dispersing it throughout all of the world, no matter what we do. Certainly we should act properly, but ultimately that is the most important thing. This coming Tuesday, we are having a very exciting lecture at our synagogue in University City. Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, we're having one of the paratroopers, one of the commandos, rather, who participated in the raid of Entebbe. If you remember the story about how the Israelis came into the Entebbe airport in 1976 and rescued all of the hostages, or most of the hostages. There were movies made about it. And this fellow was actually one of the commandos in that operation. He's going to be here in San Diego. He's going to be speaking at our synagogue. He's going to tell us exactly what happened during that time, his relationship with Yoni Netanyahu, his brother just won the election in Israel. Should be a fascinating talk. There's no charge. We're encouraging donations and sponsorships, but everyone's welcome to come. It'll be 7 o'clock this coming Tuesday night. We hope you'll all join us. The following Saturday night, we're having a big Malav Malka at the synagogue with the speaker, with food, with everything. And that should be a beautiful evening as well. That's part of Shabbat San Diego. That'll be next Saturday night, a week from the Saturday night. We hope you'll come and join us for that as well. Lots of things going on. We hope you'll all join us for all of these things. Candle lighting tonight, Friday night, is at 5:37. I want to remind you that we changed the clocks this coming Saturday night. We move our clocks back an hour. So services in the evening will be at 4:30, not at 5:30, and we encourage you all to come. Shalom, have a good Shabbos, and we'll see you all next week.